to order for Wednesday, December the 14th, 2016, of the Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School. First order of business is a pledge of allegiance to the flag. You all rise, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The next, excuse me, the next order of business is a public comment. Is anybody in the audience that would like to discuss anything with the school committee before we start the agenda? None being seen or heard, we will move forward. Next, Mr. Laganis will introduce new staff introductions.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and rest of the school committee members. I'm pleased to stand here as the principal and the instructional leader to introduce new members of our team, new staff members. Andre Cormier, a paraprofessional. Come on up, Andre. Paul Benedictus, auto body. Kimberly Malin, Health Occupations, is not present tonight. Rachel Rossi, our attendance monitor. And Nancy Umla, she's our medical assistant in the Health Occupations. So I'd just like to introduce you to our new staff, and congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks for coming.
Next order of business is the annual holiday float. Ms. Superintendent.
I'd like to take a walk and see the floats that was at the holiday parade in both Haverhill and in Merrimack.
All right.
How did they do in the awards?
Grand prize.
All
There you
right.
go, that's what we like to
Thank you.
hear. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move the approval of the minutes for November 9th, regular school committee meeting.
Yes, sir. Is there a second?
Oh, yeah.
Any
Lions Club, everything.
additions,
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
deletions, or corrections? None being heard, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
One abstention,
I gotta abstain too, please.
two abstentions. Where were you?
I wasn't here.
I remember that now. Treasury report. Mr. Lesage. We need a motion first.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, I said move. You did, he said move.
Oh, you have to speak up. Thank you. Second. Any concerns or questions on the treasury report? None being heard, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? You abstaining? Are you abstaining, Mr. Murphy? The treasury report. All right. One abstention. There's no old business. Now we move on to part of the agenda, reports and communications. Student representative, Mr. O'Regan.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and all other school committee members. Environmental Club is continuing its daily recycling activities, and the Model UN Club has had 2 after-school meetings in the last month with a good turnout and stimulating debate at both meetings. Their trip to the State House in October was also a great success. They would like to thank the school committee and the administration for their continued support. Recently, in the GSA Club, they have been looking at the coming out process, including identifying safe people and when and how to disclose. They have been referring to human rights campaign publications as a starting point for discussion and evidence-based advice. Students have been sharing their own experiences, reflecting, offering tips, and some are even making plans. Whittier Tech's first robotics team, the Maroon Monsoon, has been working diligently in order to prepare for the 2017 season competition. Each group on the team has completed multiple tasks to ensure the success of the team in the new season. This year's build season begins on January 7, 2017. Students have taken the initiative to create calendars and schedules for the build season, as well as organize fundraising opportunities for their team. Members have also taken inventory on components and materials that are needed to build their robot. Students that will be building the robot have all completed their safety tests early so that they are ready to begin building as soon as the season starts. Second and third year members have been assessing new team members in learning about FIRST and what will be required of them in the upcoming season. Their new members have been working just as hard as the current members to achieve the same goal. The chorus is singing at the Amesbury Senior Christmas Party at the Holy Family Church on Thursday, December 8th. They performed at the Superintendent's Luncheon on December 13th, and the holiday concert is Thursday, December 15th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium and is open to the public, and it's free. There will be a variety of music, including holiday tunes, and Santa will be visiting. The second round of auditions for the spring musical was also Wednesday, December 7th. We will be holding callbacks and cast the play before the holiday break. The Multicultural Club Coats for Kids Drive is in full swing through the month of December. Our last day for the drive is January 5th. You can bring in your gently worn winter coats or jackets to the donation box on the third floor. The peer-to-peer program sponsors the Holiday Canned Food Drive, and it is underway. The shop/homeroom that collects the most canned goods will win the traditional winner's plaque and a breakfast delivered to them on the day before we leave for the holidays. The canned goods collected will be delivered to several shelters and pantries within the district to help feed the hungry for the holidays. The Key Club has been actively involved in the community service this last month. We have volunteered at a number of places, including homeless outreach programs, the Santa parades, and Whittier's open house event. They are looking forward to continuing helping service efforts this upcoming month with events planned with the Salvation Army. So the winter season sports have just kicked off, and the wrestling team just won their match right now. The wrestling's going on right now, and they just won. They have lost a lot of impressive seniors this year, but however, they have a promising roster that had 57 students trying out. They are very excited to see where the season takes them. With a very large freshman presence, the future is bright for Whittier wrestling. They started the season with 2 wins and 1 loss, beating Nauset High School 47-26 and Worcester Tech 47-0. The 1 loss was to Tri-County Tech 41-36, which was a nail biter coming down to the last minute of the last match. As the newcomers get more experience, they are hoping to make plenty of noise and keep people talking about the Whittier wrestling program. After graduating only 2 seniors last year, this year's boys basketball team has many experienced players. They had a huge group of boys come try out for the team, and as a result, all 3 teams, varsity, JV, and freshmen, are carrying very large rosters. The varsity team is comprised of 15 very good athletes, and the hope is for a successful season. The first game is the end of the week, and they are hoping to open some eyes and show all the hard work they've been doing. Lastly, the girls' basketball team is returning many players who play with sound and aggressive defense. This could be a fun year for the Lady Wildcats as they try to make a push for the league championship, which Whittier has won 4 out of the last 5 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got 2 comments. Anybody else have a comment first?
Once again, it's always nice to hear the students report.
I think it's commendable that the students, especially this time of the year, donate their time and efforts in helping those less fortunate, the coats and the food and the homeless. And secondly, it's refreshing to me about the turnouts that we get in the winter sports. I have a good friend who's a coach at one of the local schools in basketball, and he was telling me that it looks like he's going to have to use a couple of freshmen, but he doesn't have enough upperclassmen to get the roster where he wants it. So here we have, 50-something just go out for
Just for wrestling.
for
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's means that the atmosphere, I think, here is pretty important.
Yeah, kids really like to get involved at this school. Very.
That's
very
great.
much.
It's a good thing. Thank you. And now we move on to the superintendent's report. Ms. Lynch.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Tonight before you, our personnel action, we hired a carpentry instructor and winter coaches. I also want to notify you of a retirement of a math instructor. Budget update, we're meeting with department heads and administration to finalize department submissions to build the FYI budget on Monday. We are distributing a calendar this evening with the proposed dates to meet with the executive subcommittee in the design of the budget, and I believe Ms. Cosmas will do that in her report. MCAS update, results for the November retest should be available in mid-January. The biology retest after-school program begins January 19th, and the grade 10 Title I after-school program begins on January 23rd. Superintendent's update, on Wednesday, November 16th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Superintendent's Association meeting at Crest Collaborative in Methuen. We discussed the social and emotional health of students and the services available to schools in this area. On Thursday, November 17th, we hosted Representative Brian Dempsey, Chair of House Ways and Means here at Whittier. Mr. Early, Ms. Kara Cosmas, the business manager, along with Harry Takeshan, attended this meeting. We were able to share our plans for our statement of interest with MSBA, take a tour through the building, show some of our concerns that we have with the school and the future of the school. We're also to show him our plans for the capital skills grant we're submitting to the state. Actually, we submitted it today. On Thursday, November 17th, I attended the Superintendent Mentor Program in Marlborough. It's my second year of the induction program. On Tuesday, November 29th, Whittier hosted Carol Jacobs, Superintendent in Georgetown, and members of the Georgetown School Committee for lunch. I would like to thank Dr. Testaverde for attending that meeting, Kara Cosmas and Patricia Lowell for stepping in for me. I was feeling ill that day, so they were able to attend the luncheon, and I understand it was very informative and quite a success. On Thursday, December 1st, I attended the CCI meeting. These are meetings held with the District Attorney's Office, along with other state agencies, including DYS and TCF. On Tuesday, December 6th, I hosted an area superintendent meeting with Ms. Jacobs from Georgetown and Mr. Gary Reese from Amesbury. We were able to discuss concerns within our district and in our schools. On December 8th through 9th, I attended the NEASC annual meeting in Boston. This was an informative conference as we begin preparation for our decennial visit in October. On Friday, December 9th, I attended the MASC Emerging Issues in Education Law in Boston. School attorneys give an update to school superintendents about the new laws and requirements. Much of this year's conference was about the new public records law that's being initiated as of January 1st. On Monday, December 12th, MSBA came to the school for a school survey visit. I want to thank Kara Cosmas and Harry Takeshan for spending the day touring the building. They looked at the map of the building. They went and looked at every possible thing that we have here at Whittier. So they did a full inspection of the school building. On Tuesday, December 13th, Whittier hosted the Merrimack Valley Superintendent's Association meeting with administrative assistants. Over 90 people were in attendance, including superintendents and administrative assistants throughout the Merrimack Valley. And today, I hosted the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors meeting here at the school. So the culinary department has been very, very busy. Also for you tonight, I have acceptance of donations. I respectfully request the school committee to approve the donations list dated December 1st from the business manager.
Mr. Chairman,
Move to accept.
second.
Any questions? Being heard, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous.
Also before you tonight, I have a field trip for the wrestling team. Because they're going out of state, they're going to Pelham High School for a wrestling tournament on January 14th. They have about 40 students going. I need approval for them to go across the border.
Second.
You have all the proper paperwork?
Well, that's not nice.
It's early.
The proper paperwork.
Yes, all the paperwork.
Thank you.
Is this a one-day trip?
One day, yeah.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Unanimous.
Also, I have a field trip to Wyndham, New Hampshire for the first robotics competition, and that is on March 3rd. We have about 25 students attending that competition.
Sorry. Yes, Mr. Early.
Proper paperwork in hand.
Proper paperwork will be in hand when they leave for the trip.
Please say aye. All approve? Aye. All opposed? Unanimous.
Also, I'd like to review the outside projects we have going on in December. We have quite a list here. Amesbury, the graphics program has printed materials for the Amesbury Educational Foundation. Also in Amesbury, the Whittier Chorus sang at the Council of Aging Holiday Party on December 8th at the Holy Family Parish Hall. In Groveland, the graphics department completed Finance Committee handbooks. In Haverhill, the graphics department completed business cards for the Haverhill Police Department. In Haverhill, graphics completed printed materials for the Haverhill Fire Department drawing contest for the Haverhill school system. And also in Haverhill, the culinary department did pastry for a holiday party on December 14th for the Haverhill Police Department. Also, as we witnessed today, the holiday float, both in Haverhill and in Merrimack. The culinary department completed holiday cookies for the foster kids at the Merrimack Valley. Also, the culinary department completed holiday cookies for Ozzie Hardy Toys for Tots annual party held on December 2nd. And our carpentry program for Haverhill Community TV built and delivered a 5x10 column basis for structural support for the holiday bell. In Haverhill, the YMCA, we donated Adirondack chairs for a spring fundraiser. And Whittier will be hosting, along with the other luncheons, we'll be holding the CAC Fall Sports Banquet on December 16th. So we've been very busy this month.
Thank you. Yes.
I just want to, it's amazing the things that we do and how busy these students are and the contributions to the community. I think we should be very proud of the faculty and the students, the work that they do. It's so important to be involved in our communities, and this is a leading group in that way. Very impressive.
Very impressive.
I might add also the work the superintendent does in getting out there. We've been trying for the last, your predecessor and yourself, to get out into the community, and public relations wise, just to be seen, but the importance of also telling the story and hearing what the outside community needs to know or wants to tell us. So it's very important. A question I would have is, how much longer do you have the induction out in Marlboro?
This is
this it?
No, there's one more year.
One more year? So it's a 3-year?
3-year program.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's one of the things that we've really tried, along with the leadership team, is to really give back to the community that gives us so much. And that's a message that we've really been trying to send to our students. And our faculty has done a wonderful job, meeting that message. So that's all I have for you tonight.
Yes.
I just have one question. Do the community members typically contact you? Are you being contacted by the community to say, can you help us with this?
Yes.
So that's really good. So the word's out there, they know.
Yes.
Great.
Mr. Mr. Early.
Now, do they contact you personally, or do they contact other departments for us?
Sometimes they contact me, sometimes they contact the vocational coordinator, sometimes they contact the front desk who refers them to the vocational coordinator. So Bev DeSalvo, our vocational coordinator, really is the one that manages all the community service activities from our vocational
The
department.
reason why I asked that, you've got a lot of other things to do,
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. Before we move on to the principal report, as we all know, Mr. Doug Galena, the representative from Groveland, has resigned for personal reasons. And based upon that, tonight we have his replacement appointed by the Pentucket School Committee, Lisa O'Connor from Groveland. I want to welcome her aboard to the meeting, and we'll be getting her set up with anything she needs to get up to speed. Do we have his iPad for?
We have his iPad. We'll work, yeah. Yep.
Great. Okay, so welcome to the
Welcome.
committee. We're going to move forward. Okay, next up on our agenda is the report of the principal, Mr. Leganis.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and the rest of the school committee members. As we know, the winter sports are in full swing, but I want to step back a little bit and just talk about a little bit about the fall sports. And I just want to congratulate the students, the coaches, and the parents for another successful fall sports season. The Boosters Sports Banquet, if anybody was able to attend that on December 1st, we had over 300 parents, students that were at this event. It was a beautiful event. Also, the tours for our 8th grade students continue and should be completed by the holiday break. There's also a wonderful opportunity for potential students to see Whittier and what Whittier is all about. On Tuesday, December 6th, we talked about the relationships. I met with the new Triton Regional Principal, Tim Ruggieri, at Whittier, and I gave him a tour of Whittier and introduced him to our Superintendent Lynch. And we talked about how important it is to develop relationships with our surrounding leaders. So that was a nice event. Also, the administration and faculty, along with some private donors, got the holiday fund off and running again this year. And this fund will hopefully alleviate some burdens for our students and families. I want to thank all that have donated so far. And special thanks goes out to Cheryl Began, our security manager, as well as the guidance department, and Elaine Kevkis for coordinating this process. And if you've been down near my office, near Cheryl, it's like Santa's workshop down there with all the presents that have been collected. So I want to thank them for really going strong in this process, which is still continuing for the holidays. So any questions? Yes?
Yes, how can we participate? Can we participate in that?
Yes, absolutely. If you would like to donate or donate presents or whatever it may be, you can, get in touch with any one of us and Cheryl at the front desk, and we funnel everything towards her, and then the business office as well. So it's a great thing for our families and our students as well. So, and she's been working nonstop. When I say she, Cheryl has been working nonstop for the last two or 3 weeks, out at the Walmarts and so on, getting, much needed materials and presents for our children and our families.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Next report will be from the business manager. Ms.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, members of the committee. As Ms. Lynch alluded to earlier, in your packet you have the budget calendar, and it's the proposed calendar for FY18. It sort of is in line with what we've done in the past. All the department budgets have been submitted. We are reviewing them as we speak, and we will be meeting with the administration on Monday to go over them with the cluster chairs. After that, we have 2 subcommittee meetings, as we've done in the past, planned prior to the January and February school committee meeting. We expect to have the budget meeting with all of you before our March school committee meeting, and then the public hearing and the final vote on the FY18 budget is expected to take place prior to the April 12th regular school committee meeting. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the proposed budget calendar?
Are there any modifications for Ipswich that we had to, sometimes we move it forward a week or at?
No,
Move it
I'm
back.
not aware of any.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It mentions in the schedule that there's an executive committee that it goes to first.
Yes.
Could you tell us who the makeup of that executive committee is?
I can't offhand.
The chairs.
The chairman
Oh,
of
this-
each subcommittee.
Chairman of each, chairperson, excuse me, of each subcommittee, plus the chair and the vice chair.
But everybody's welcome.
Yeah, everybody's welcome.
Okay, and I promised you at the last meeting that I would update you on the bleacher project. We've been talking about this for several months, and I've passed out some photos. It would have been nice had it been June and warm and sunny that we could have gone down and taken a walk and looked at them in person, but I don't think anybody would want to do that tonight. So I thought that the photos would give you a good sense of where we've been and what it looks like now. This morning, we met with the architect and the contractor. Even with the loss of Monday because of the snowstorm, we are still anticipating substantial completion by Friday. We expect to have a final walkthrough next Wednesday. At that point, we will review any punch list areas. Some of the punch list will be things that need to be done when the weather is warmer, like the loom and the seed. But other than that, we should be pretty much ready to go. And I would like to once again publicly thank our architects, KBA Associates, and our contractor, Charters Brothers Construction, for their continued expertise, their ongoing communication with us, their professionalism, and their commitment to bringing the project in not only on time but also under budget. So I wanted to state again how wonderful it has been working with them. And I welcome any questions you may have on the bleacher project.
Are there any questions on the bleachers? Mr. Early?
Would you anticipate the savings will be as of right now?
I don't know at this point because I'm still getting the final bills in. I expect in January to be able to bring you the total, and as you remember, when I talked to you, I think in September, October, we had several other projects that we were anticipating needing to do, and we had some savings, and I should be able to have some numbers for you at that meeting.
Any other questions for Ms. Cosby? Before she leaves, we have to have a formal vote on the budget schedule. So is there a motion to that
So
effect?
moved.
Second.
Moved, second by Mr. Any questions on the budget schedule? And being heard, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you, and I hope all of you enjoy the festivities over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you. Next on there is the report of the chair. First up is the January agenda items. Of course, we'll have the policy updates by Mr. Irving. The business manager will give us the quarterly variance analysis. Be kind of interesting at the beginning of the year where we stand. We'll have an up-to-date budget review, and the superintendent will update us on her goals that she's formulating. Any questions on the agenda items for next meeting? Also, we have to report tonight on the reorganization meeting date. As you know, according to our policies, I think it's the first Monday in April. And because of circumstances, sometimes we move it to the week of the regular scheduled meeting.
Chairman, I move we move it to the 10th, schedule it the 10th.
That's the Monday.
We've had trouble in the past years with snow and everything else, so this is the same week as the school committee meeting. It's worked well with other, I realize what the district agreement says, we have to suspend the rules, we could do that.
Yeah.
But a friendly motion to move it to the 10th, the same week as the
Same week as the scheduled
public
meeting
hearing
on
and
the
the
12th.
meeting.
What
So
month is that?
April.
April 10th, it would be the reorg night.
Yeah, it's a Monday night when we have the dinner and then the reorganization meeting.
Then we've got our meeting Wednesday night.
And then we'll have a regular scheduled meeting on Wednesday night. We have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
So second by Mr. Osage. So first we have to vote to suspend the rules, right?
Well, unless it's a friendly,
Yeah.
there's a motion on the floor, I can take back the motion with the second's approval, then suspend the rules and do it.
No, No? Are there any objections? We can then vote on the motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. So we'll schedule the reorganization. And that'll be, what, 6 PM?
I believe so, yes.
6 PM, the dinner, and then 7 o'clock, we'll have the reorganization meeting. Thank you. Next we have up is the subcommittee reports. The executive committee has not met as of yet. We plan to have a meeting based on the budget scheduling. Instructional personnel, Dr. Testaverde.
The instructional personnel committee met on November 9th. The meeting, the minutes of the meeting are included. Basically, it was to elect a chair. I was reelected
Great.
for, I don't know how many years at this point. I was reelected. That was the extent of the meeting.
Okay,
Right.
all right.
That was it.
Move to accept the minutes?
Second?
All in favor of the minutes that were in the packet, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. One abstention. Plan operations, Mr. Tucker.
Plan operations has not met, but I'd like to take full credit for the holiday float.
So moved.
You may, you may. Okay, thank you. Salary and negotiations, Mr. Burns is not here, so I will report based on him. The salary negotiations committee met with the superintendent to review a contract, upcoming contract. We did meet, and we will be discussing that in executive session. We do have the minutes of that meeting. We have to vote on.
Move to accept.
Move to accept, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions on the minutes? None being heard, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? An abstention. Okay, thank you. Policy, Mr. Irving.
We have not met, Mr. Chairman, and I don't believe we need any policy at this point. Usually, there's a little hiatus, probably springtime will bring something forward.
Great. Okay, the next meeting, regular scheduled date, will be on January the 11th, next year, 2017, at a regular 7 PM time.
Mr. Chairman, we need a time for the executive subcommittee that same night,
You do,
I believe. It's
Yes.
scheduled,
you do, you need a meeting.
so it's 5:30 or 6,
What's best for the,
What date is that?
the 11th,
11th.
January 11th.
How much business do we have?
we'll probably discuss the initial budget,
Beginning of the budget.
I would think 5:30.
5:30. I mean, that's the day after my birthday, just so
Is that
you
right?
know.
5:30. We'll make sure we have cake.
Okay.
Barney will ask the.
So there'll be executive subcommittee, all welcome, you know, at 5:30 on the 11th. Okay. And the new business, I have no new business. Does anybody wish to bring up new business for future meetings? Mr. Early?
I have a quick question on treasury report. Did we talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
No, did we?
We did. We voted on it.
I have a quick question. I was just curious with this $512,000. I'm sorry, it's a vendor, $170,000 vendor one.
What page?
Check number 1053.
Those aren't checks, they are voucher numbers. Actually, if you see what I was doing earlier, a voucher is a series of bills.
Is that what
And
that is?
it's a series of
Okay.
bills, okay?
Thank you.
And they're just the voucher numbers.
Thank you.
Under new business, we did discuss at the last meeting that probably the first of the year, either January or February, we'd have a full report on the night school. So, would you like to have that in January or February?
Whichever you prefer.
What is the wish of the committee? You want to have it right away? Might as well. Jan-
As well.
January?
The agenda for January.
Well, with the holiday, it might be better for February.
February,
Then I can give you an
okay.
update on
All
spring.
right, we'll have it up.
The budget, first budget.
Yeah, we'll get the first budget, yeah. So we'll have it in February meeting on the night school. I understand the night school is expanding at pretty fast rate. Yes,
Charlie,
yes.
in regard to new business,
Yeah.
Do you want an update on the computer stuff? How we're doing? Is Lisa having problems? Is everything working okay? Are people moving on to their,
Yeah.
to
Put
their?
the light on.
I didn't mean that, and I'm just,
Yeah.
is she,
No,
is it difficult?
yeah, I had Lisa-
Is things coordinating well in the transition to paperless?
I had Lisa call everybody, so there'll be personal contact. And those that wish to have it mailed will have it mailed. Those that wish to have it here, and you can have both if you want. Like my friend, Mr. Murphy.
I printed my own
Oh, you printed your own?
in color.
Oh, in color, aren't you inventive? Okay. No, I think it's, it's gonna take time. Older people don't like change. But anybody that needs help, there's people here available to help them before the meeting. Just let Lisa, Ms. Lynch know, and, we'll have somebody come to help you out, like me.
Well,
Yes.
I will say, I came today and Kevin was wonderful. It didn't take us long. We know more than we think we know, and it's not that difficult, and I was in and out in like 25 minutes.
Right.
So if anybody is finding it difficult to make the transition, Kevin is wonderful. He'll do anything to help you. He was terrific today, and I want to thank everybody for helping me with that.
Either that or ask the first and second grader. They'll
Yeah,
say
that's
whatever.
true.
That's your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
Charlie,
Yeah.
just to add to
Yes.
that too, he responds very quickly. If I email him, he usually emails me within 1 hour with the answer.
Oh, great.
And he's been able to remotely update things on my iPad when I needed them, so it's been really great.
That's wonderful.
Very helpful.
Good, I'm glad, because it helps everybody else out. So there is a need for executive session tonight to conduct the contract negotiations with non-union, which is the superintendent. So we need is this the motion? Need a enter executive session, conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, the superintendent, and upon the completion of the executive session, we will return to open session. It's a roll call vote. Mr. Early.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Tucker.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Irvin.
Aye.
Mr. Testaverde.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Waha.
Yes.
Ms. And Mr. Lesage, yes. Take a quick 5-minute recess. It's 10 minutes of 8. We'll probably be out of here. We're now back in open session.
Move to adjourn.
Give it up to report. Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Early. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.